What if the most dangerous mistake you ever made wasn't trusting someone else, but trusting the version of yourself they encouraged you to become? Loyalty feels noble when you're inside it. It feels clean. It feels strong. But there is a moment, usually quiet, when loyalty turns into a weapon pointed inward, and you don't notice until you're bleeding from places no one can see. You didn't fall because you were weak. You fell because you believed consistency meant character, because you were taught that staying is proof of worth. Somewhere early in your life, maybe watching adults swallow disappointment and call it love, you learned that enduring pain was a virtue. So when someone asked for your loyalty, you didn't hesitate. You offered it like a promise, like protection, like identity. Here's the part no one says out loud. Loyalty changes the brain. Psychological studies on commitment show that once we publicly invest in a person, our mind begins rewriting reality to justify the investment. Red flags become misunderstandings. Absence becomes patience. Disrespect becomes complexity. The brain would rather distort truth than admit it misjudged someone important. This isn't romance. It's cognitive survival. History is filled with loyal people who were destroyed by it. Soldiers who obeyed orders long after morality collapsed. Employees who defended corporations that would erase them without blinking. Partners who stayed faithful while being slowly erased. The pattern is always the same. Loyalty is praised at the beginning, then exploited, then punished. Not because loyalty is wrong, but because it's predictable. There was a moment you ignored. A sentence that felt slightly off. A silence that lasted too long. Research on intuition shows that the body detects betrayal before the mind allows it. Micro-expressions, inconsistencies in tone, delayed responses. Your nervous system noticed everything. But loyalty demanded silence. So you negotiated with your instincts and lost. The more loyal you became, the less valuable you appeared. This sounds cruel, but behavioral economics confirms it. Scarcity increases perceived worth. Predictability reduces it. When you made it clear you would stay no matter what, the dynamic shifted. Power quietly changed hands. Not because they planned it, but because humans respond to incentives, even emotional ones. Midway through, something subtle happened. You stopped asking for what you needed. You began editing your reactions. You became easier to manage. Studies on attachment show that anxious loyalty invites avoidant behavior. The more one person clings to consistency, the more the other experiments with distance. It feels personal. It's structural. Then came the turning point you didn't recognize as one. When they crossed a line and nothing happened. No consequence. No withdrawal. Just understanding. In psychology, this is called boundary extinction. Once a boundary dissolves without resistance, the brain records permission. From that moment, loyalty no longer protected you. It exposed you. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Loyalty without self-respect is not love. It is self-erasure. It teaches people how to treat you by showing them what you will tolerate. You thought you were being strong. You were being available. Strength would have been the willingness to risk loss instead of dignity. This realization hurts because it reframes everything. The memories, the sacrifices, the nights you stayed when leaving felt impossible. But pain doesn't mean you were wrong about love. It means you misunderstood its cost. Love is not proven by how much you endure. It's proven by how safe you remain while giving it. When it ended, or when it hollowed out, you didn't just lose a person. You lost a version of yourself built around loyalty. That emptiness feels terrifying because loyalty gave structure to your days and meaning to your suffering. But emptiness is not failure. It is space. Here is what changes everything. Loyalty is not a flaw. Blind loyalty is. Loyalty should be conditional on reciprocity, respect, and presence. When those disappear, Loyalty must move inward. To your boundaries. To your intuition. To the self you abandoned to keep someone else comfortable. If this feels like it was written for you, that's because it was. Not to accuse you, but to free you. The mistake was never loyalty. The mistake was giving it to someone who didn't have to earn it. And the moment you see that, you don't become colder. You become awake. You will notice how silence sounds different now. How patterns reveal themselves without effort. The world didn't change. You did. Awareness feels lonely at first, but loneliness is the cost of clarity. Once you choose yourself, you stop begging for proof. You start living with intention. And strangely, that is when loyalty finally becomes pure, powerful, and free, belonging first to you, then to anyone who deserves it, fully, honestly, without fear, without shrinking, without apology, without delay, without return, without regret.